I really don't care what happens to her at all. I don't care. Like, everybody they tiptoe around with this social media, but what y'all don't get is that it be real consequence for y'all little flexes, y'all quick flexes for $300 that you need. It be consequence.
Stop scrolling, because what just leaked might change everything you thought you knew about Teyana Taylor and Iman Shumpert. For years, people have watched their love story play out like a modern-day fairy tale. The music, the red carpets, the family goals posts that had everyone saying relationship of the year.
But now,
everything is cracking wide open. And this time, it isn't coming from the tabloids, or from some bitter ex, or from industry whispers. It's coming from the voice of someone no one expected, their daughter. Yes, you heard that right. Voice notes, allegedly from Teyana and Iman's child, have surfaced online, and what's inside them is both heartbreaking and shocking. It's the kind of raw, unfiltered truth that no PR team could ever polish, no Instagram filter could ever hide. When a child speaks, people listen differently. And when that child starts describing the pain of growing up in the middle of her parents' drama, that's when the world stops scrolling. The first reaction most people had when they heard about the leak was simple: disbelief. How could something so private even make its way into the public? Who recorded these? Who leaked them? Was it intentional, or just an accident that spiraled out of control? But once the clips started circulating, people couldn't ignore what they were hearing. It wasn't the polished, smiling family image fans were used to. This was something deeper, something raw, and it painted a picture of a little girl caught between love, loss, and the silence of parents too busy fighting their own battles to realize the impact it was having on her. To understand just how heavy this is, you have to rewind the story. Teyana Taylor and Iman Shumpert weren't just a couple, they were a brand. They had the kind of chemistry people envy, the kind of love story that made fans believe in forever. From reality TV to interviews, they let people into their home, their laughter, their inside jokes. And at the center of all of it was their daughter, often shown smiling, dancing, full of joy. She was part of the image of happiness. But images can lie. And while the world was busy double-tapping and saying couple goals, behind the scenes, things weren't as picture-perfect. Whispers of infidelity, separation rumors, moments where both Teyana and Iman seemed distant, fueled speculation that something was breaking apart. Fans brushed it off at first. Every couple has ups and downs. But the leak of these voice notes? It changed everything. Because now it's not speculation. It's a child's perspective. And children don't fake emotion. The first voice note is simple but devastating. In it, you hear a small, trembling voice talking about how much she misses her dad. Not in the way kids miss a parent who's at work or traveling for a few days. No, this was different. This was a little girl trying to understand why her father doesn't come around like he used to, why promises keep getting broken, why the energy in her home feels different. She doesn't use big words, she doesn't accuse, but the innocence in her tone makes it all the more painful. And that's when fans really started to piece things together. All those nights, Iman was seen out at events without his family. The cryptic posts Teyana made about choosing peace over pain. The way the two of them started showing up separately when they used to be inseparable. The dots connected themselves. And now, through this little voice, the world began to see what was really happening behind closed doors. But the second voice note took it up another level. This wasn't just about missing her dad anymore. In this clip, she allegedly talks about things she's seen in the house. Doors slamming, voices raised. Her mom crying when she thought no one was watching. It's the kind of observation no child should have to make. To hear a daughter quietly say, "Mom cries a lot," is something that shatters even the hardest heart. Because it's no longer about rumors. It's no longer about maybe. It's a child confirming that pain lives in her home. That clip spread like wildfire. Blogs posted it. Fans clipped it. Reactions flooded in. Some people were angry that it had even been leaked at all, saying children should never be dragged into adult issues. Others couldn't help but focus on the details, replaying every second to catch the weight of what she was saying. For many, it felt like proof that the love story they admired had turned into something darker. And the fact that it came from the one person who should have been protected from it all, that's what made it so powerful. But the most explosive clip, that came next. And it wasn't just about crying or shouting. This one hit a nerve that nobody was prepared for. In the third note, the daughter allegedly said something chilling. "It feels like Dad chooses other people over us." Just let that sink in. Out of the mouth of a child comes a sentence that fans immediately tied to every cheating rumor, every night Iman was spotted without his family, every headline that suggested he was distracted by other women, other parties, other lives. The backlash was instant. For fans, this wasn't just gossip anymore. This was neglect, this was betrayal, this was a child noticing patterns that adults tried to sweep under the rug. And while people debated whether the clips were real, whether they were edited, whether they should even be shared, one thing was clear. The damage was done. Because once you hear a daughter say those words, you can't unhear them. You can't go back to seeing the family as goals. You start to see them as broken, fractured, hurting. Social media exploded. Hashtags started trending. Protect Teyana. Pray for their daughter. Iman exposed. All kinds of takes flooded the timeline. Some fans defended Iman, saying kids sometimes exaggerate, or that the audio could have been taken out of context. But others weren't buying it. They pointed to past allegations, past inconsistencies in his story, and said the child's words were the missing puzzle piece. The blogs dissected every syllable, fans wrote threads connecting timelines, and suddenly, this wasn't just a leak. It was a storm. Through it all, Teyana herself stayed silent, at least publicly. No interviews, no statements. Just a few cryptic posts, maybe a quote about peace, maybe a picture with no caption. The kind of silence that makes people wonder if she's saying more by not saying anything at all. For her fans, that silence was deafening. Was she protecting her daughter? Was she trying not to add fuel to the fire? Or was she simply too tired to fight anymore? Meanwhile, people turned their eyes to Iman, and his reaction only made things worse. Instead of addressing the leak directly, he seemed to brush it off. Some reports claimed he denied the clips, calling them fake, claiming people were out to ruin his name. Others said he tried to deflect, pointing to his career, his appearances, his projects. But none of that mattered because the public wasn't looking at him as a celebrity anymore. They were looking at him as a father. And from that lens, every excuse sounded hollow. And maybe that's the saddest part of all of this. Because while the world debates who's right and who's wrong, the one person truly caught in the middle is their daughter. She's the one whose voice is out there now, replayed, analyzed, debated by strangers online. She's the one who just wanted her parents' love, their attention, their unity. Instead, she's become the accidental whistleblower of their entire relationship. And that's a weight no child should ever have to carry. But here's where it gets even more complicated. Because if voice notes like these could leak once, what else could be out there? Were these the only ones? Were there more recordings that paint an even darker picture? And if this was just the beginning, could it mean the public is about to learn things that not even Teyana or Iman are ready to face? That's the real cliffhanger. Because now, the world is watching closely. And for Teyana and Iman, no matter what happens next, one thing is certain. Their story will never go back to what it was. Once the voice of a child breaks the illusion, no amount of PR can fix it.
So what do you think?
Were these voice notes real? Or a setup? Was this a child unknowingly exposing the truth? Or was someone using her voice to push an agenda? One thing's for sure, this family drama has just entered a new chapter, and the ending is nowhere in sight.